Once upon a time in a land far away, there lived a little queen who wanted a sleigh. She wanted to spend the night on the town, if only she had a suitable gown. It's giving big flop, her mirror did say. Help me, oh please, she texted her gaze. They tried a boot and a shoe and a look and a fit. Then the final assemble, they knew this is it. She ate, she cleared, she came here to slay. She was no sleeping beauty, but she gagged them all day. Honey, that's tea. This is not no Red Riding Hood. Here in Manhattan, we have the little diva that could, but you couldn't. You couldn't.
Hi guys, I'm gonna come back to another video. First of all, I want to say thank you so much to the 50 subscribers because this is literally crazy. You might be like, why are you celebrating only 50 subscribers? What? Only? For the longest time ever, I only had like 10 subscribers, and literally all of them are me from different Gmail accounts because I was just trying to have some sort of subscribers because it was embarrassing to, post content when there is nobody watching. But in this year, I'm kind of changing a little bit of my strategy, and I learned how to discipline myself. So I'm doing a lot of content this year. I'm gonna keep on uploading content even if there is nobody watching. I kind of changed my mindset, and I started doing YouTube shorts too, and all of these 40 subscribers that are not me, they don't know me. Thank you so much for subscribing, and I'm so happy. So for real, like, I'm not even joking, like, thank you so much for subscribing. You don't even know how much it means to me. And now I have like more than 40,000 views on my YouTube channel. What? Am I a singer? Like, why do I have that many views? But thank you so much. And I'm gonna keep on uploading shorts. It works. If you're a creator, keep on uploading shorts, please. Like, YouTube videos, nobody's watching them in a way. YouTube shorts is the key. But even this video, I'm gonna clip it and make it into a lot of shorts. First of all, let's talk about what is the Met Gala. The Met Gala is basically an annual gala that happens on the first Monday of May. The host for this gala is Anna Wintour. She is the editor-in-chief in Vogue Global, right? And she basically hosts this gala and has some sort of co-host with her co-chairs. This year's co-chairs are Zendaya, J-Lo, Bad Bunny, and somebody named Hemsworth. I don't know him. I'm so sorry. Do not eat me. I literally am very disconnected at times. Please, he might be definitely famous and so more successful than I could ever imagine, but okay, so these were the co-hosts or the co-chairs alongside Anna Wintour, and basically Anna picks the dress code for for the Met Gala, for what people are gonna wear, and a dress code for them to follow, and her alongside Vogue staff. So basically they curate and they have a list of some sort of 600 people that they would invite. And that they would approve the invite of, because sometimes you get invited through like some sort of third party, which is a brand that buys a table. So that is that. And why is there a gala, and is Anna Wintour profiting from this, or is Vogue profiting from this, or what is happening, and why people are doing Hunger Games shit? Because I saw all of that on Twitter. The gala is basically intended to raise funds for the Metropolitan Museum of Art, for the Costume Institute. Why is that? Because having a museum, keeping up with a museum, buying a collection that is, and buying things that are rare, to create some sort of exhibition that the price of it is like $30 max, and you can go there sometimes for some cents if you're a New York resident. That costs a lot of money to keep up, with the building, to conserve those pieces of art, to hire conservators and curators. Like, I'm pretty sure that is definitely expensive, and the pieces themselves that are going to be displayed to the public are definitely expensive. So that is why they need donations, because this is all, this is all charity. This is not something that Anna Wintour is gonna get some sort of money from, or those celebrities are not gonna be paid because they went to the Met Gala. It is nothing like that, and how people are talking about on the internet. So basically how it works, on the first Monday of May, the people that are invited, the people that received an invitation, because if you don't have an invitation, you go back home. It's not like, oh my god, I have 1 million followers on Instagram, let me just do some pictures for you guys need some promo. It's not like that. You need an invitation, and after you show them that you have the invitation, you walk up those stairs and you get photographs by these photographers that are big photographers that would upload to big publications. And then you walk up those stairs and basically mingle a little, chat a little with the fellow guests, and then there will be a dinner, and there are performers. This year's performer was Ariana Grande, and there are not a lot of photos. You can't just take a lot of photos or videos there. I think it's illegal or some shit, but I see the videos sometimes, so I don't know how it works, whether they sneak in cameras or whatever. I don't know how it works. I've never been invited. But after they eat or whatever, they chat a little, they mingle a little, they network a little, and then they would have an opportunity to see the exhibition for the first time ever. So all of those price tickets, all of those $75,000 price tickets or whatever, are all forms of donation to the Met Gala Museum, and it takes more than that amount of money to be invited. You have to be somewhat a prominent figure in the cultural scene, somebody, a poet, a billionaire that is doing a lot, you know, in the industry or whatever. You have to be invited by a house, and how these houses would do it, they would buy a table and then they would invite people to dress, because they want to collaborate with these people, and they would dress them according to the theme. The Met Gala is one of the only fashion events where it's not for commercial things. It's literally one of the only events for fashion people to celebrate creativity and not think about money and think about things that make them money. Because I get it, people need to feed their workers, but the fashion world is getting too commercial sometimes. They're trying to like sell you things. Sometimes, yeah, there is still creativity, but come on now. So the Met Gala is not, oh yeah, this is my brand, look, this is my logo, oh yeah, this is the house ambassador, oh yeah. It's following a theme, celebrating fashion, and that's it. It's basically having fun, and all of that money, and they raise millions of dollars, is going definitely to the Metropolitan Museum of Art and to the exhibition, because it takes a lot of money, I guess. Because look at the pieces that are gonna be displayed to the public. These are rare pieces. I bet the way I don't know how it works. I never done museum curation. I've never done galleries. I don't know how it works, but I assume that you need to buy these things or rent them or whatever, and you keeping them for months until September 2nd definitely is gonna cost you some money, and you having them and you preserving them and you having that exhibition is definitely gonna cost a lot of money. So that is that. And they also have sponsors. This year's sponsors were Loewe, the Spanish house, the TikTok platform, and also Condé Nast, partially sponsored by Condé Nast. And all of this is charity, guys. This is not all people flexing, look at this wealth, look at this, blah blah. And most of those people that you see on the steps, they don't own those garments. Most of them are gonna have to give it back to the brand that dressed them, and even the jewelry. So it does not work like that, guys. These are not people flexing their wealth when there is an active genocide going on. This is literally just charity, and giving to art and donating to art is as important as donating to any fucking cause. There is a lot of abundance in this world. We can do it all, babes. Okay, and I'm gonna have an opinion about this later at the end of the video, but this is how it works. This is how the Met Gala works, and it is a beautiful, beautiful thing for anybody that loves the fashion art. And each year I learn a lot about fashion and the history of fashion because of these reviews that I watch on YouTube and the articles that I read. And this year I'm doing a review of my own because I feel like I can give some sort of insight. Let's talk right now about the themes of this year's Met Gala, because there are 3. And you're gonna be like, what? 3? You're literally so wrong. Let me just click off this video. You don't know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. So the dress code, which Anna Wintour and the Vogue staff and the co-chairs, allegedly, I don't know how it works. I don't know, but this is from reading articles, okay? Google is free, honey. Like, Google it. Basically, the dress code for the night, for the gala, is the Garden of Time, which is a theme inspired by a short story of the same name, The Garden of Time, by J.G. Ballard. The story, I talked about it in the last video. I kind of decoded it for you. But the main takeaways, I'm gonna just do a little bit of a summary for you because you might not have read it and you might have not watched the video, the last one. The story is about a count and his wife. They were living in this Palladian villa. It was a beautiful villa. They were like living lavishly. They were part of the high society, higher upper echelon or whatever. And one day all of that got disrupted by an approaching mob, by an advancing mob towards the villa. And basically the count, they had a time flower. It is a fictional thing. This time flower garden, a garden of time flowers, each time flower that got plucked out of this garden would reverse the time a little and kind of make the mob retrieve a little. And then they kept on plucking flowers and in this romantic way. They were like ignoring the big elephant in the room. They were not panicking about the flowers. They were just like accepting their fate. That was what made me judged them when I was reading, and until they plucked the last time flower, and then the mob approached and kind of broke down the villa, and then they got to the next point, and the couple at the end of the story became stone statues. They were holding hands, and the wife had the last flower kind of like stoned with her, the remains of the last flower. So that is the story, and the story is all about the cycle of destruction and creation. This couple was living in a very lavish, they had the very lavish lifestyle. They were very educated. They had an extensive library, a lot of paintings, things that are really important and the epitome of creation. And the mob, they were advancing in a way that did not kind of like, they were like, you know, advancing in different, like most of them were kind of like not knowing what they were doing, but they were advancing regardless because they wanted to destroy. So that is the epitome of destruction. They were like mediocre. The mob was mediocre. The mob was not the most, you know, knowledgeable about what they were trying to destroy, but they were destroying regardless. They were just walking. And that is the epitome of destruction, the epitome of creation. And this story, my general takeaway from it is that we should preserve our natural resources. We should not just ignore that there is destruction out there and just accept our fate. We should never be too attached to our creation and to our comfort like the couple did. We should strive for living and understand this part. And this, you know, destruction people, we should also understand the beauty of creation so that we do not destroy and create, so that we can live in harmony, so that we can just like live sustainably and sustain our assets and our arts and all of the beautiful things that we build as humans, because it's really counterproductive to build and then to destroy. But it is an inevitable cycle in a way. It kind of always happens, but whatever. So that is my general takeaway from the story, and the themes that people could follow from this story and wear them, you know, wear these things, is basically, you know, them interpreting time. There is time, so reversing time, having clocks, things of that nature in a literal way. Destruction, so having gowns that are torn, pieces that are, you know, dissolving, gowns that are just like going extinct, they're ripping apart as we see them. We can also talk about the flowers, how and interpret the flowers and kind of, you know, see the flowers, because there were these crystalline flowers. They would shine and they would like reflect the sunset light, blah 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 blah. So we could wear that. We could also wear things, yeah, things of that nature, destruction, creation, blah, blah, blah. So that is the first theme of this year's Met Gala. The second theme, which is the exhibition theme, and you can be inspired from the first one, the second one, both, and whatever. The second theme, it is Sleeping Beauty's Reawakening Fashion. This is the theme that I think is picked by Andrew Bolton, the main curator, the head curator for the exhibition. So as he said, Sleeping Beauties, Reawakening Fashion is all about, you know, reawakening fashion, things, garments and everything, and reawakening them through experiencing them with all of your five senses. So if you go to the exhibition, you would hear the gowns, you would see the gowns that are like laying flat because they are too fragile to be worn on a model. You would see an AI version or some video, 3D or whatever, I don't know, a hologram of how the gown would look like on somebody, right? And you would hear, you would smell, because they try to extract some sort of smells from these gowns, so you'd smell really intense things, and that's what the people that got to experience the exhibition said. So it's all about reawakening these pieces that were sleeping for years and years and years because they were too fragile to be seen, too fragile to be worn again, or things that could not be recreated, so they would be preserved in some sort of archive in some house or some other museum around the world, right? So it's all about that. It's a really beautiful thing, and how guests could interpret that in this year's Met Gala, you may ask. It's all about basically pulling out archival looks, wearing things that were never worn before, or you know, commissioning a designer or working with a house that would recreate one of the pieces that are in the exhibition, or one of the old pieces, or one of the old historical eras and the garments that we had in the past. So that is how you could play with that, you know, exhibition theme. And the third and hidden theme, it's all about celebrating and honoring John Galliano. You might say, why are you saying that? Because on May 3rd, just a few days before the Met Gala, the Cat magazine published an article written by author Chantal Fernandez. She said guests will have no indication that The elaborate exhibition they are about to see is a last-minute backup plan. As recently as summer 2023, head curator Andrew Bolton and his patron Vogue's Anna Wintour intended instead to stage a show dedicated to the work of one of their favorite designers, John Galliano, but the Costume Institute's Galliano exhibition is on indefinite pause. According to sources with knowledge of the department's plans, the Metropolitan Museum's leadership feared public backlash. Some members of the museum's board are said to have stepped in to stop the show too. So basically, this kind of sparked some conversation on, you know, in the fashion community, because a lot of people were like, oh my God, John Galliano, what the fuck, you know, the author is talking about, because this was published just before the Met Gala, right? So people were like, oh my God, maybe she's, I don't know. This is all alleged because this is the only article that talked about this. But also after seeing the Met Gala and seeing that the big names that, you know, went and, you know, they went to the gala, for example, Kim Kardashian, for example, Zendaya, they all wore things from the works of John Galliano. So Chantal might be right. This might have been some sort of, you know, the initial exhibition, you know, theme, but then they kind of pulled out of it and stopped it. But still, it is a hidden theme because the celebration of John Galliano was seen on the A-listers that were invited for this year's Met Gala. So I think it is, ooh, you guys shook a little. But yeah, I think it is the theme, a hidden theme for this year's Met Gala, because yeah, and why, if you don't know, you might be like, why did they not go with the John Galliano and honoring John Galliano's work? So first of all, why would they honor John Galliano? John Galliano is a genius of a designer. He's a designer that could never be repeated, okay? We should be very grateful that he's still alive and still producing. But yeah, John Galliano was the creative director of the House of Givenchy from 1995 to 1997. He did haute couture collections then too. Then he went to Dior from 1997 to 2011. Until why 2011 and what happened? Because he was doing amazing at Dior. He made Dior kind of become really like it and really popular, and he was just being so good. Like, he was a genius. He was creating things that, wow, like things that are just out of this world. In 2011, he got fired from the House of Dior because of public pressure and because of, you know, the public backlash, following a video of him posted on the internet, because in the video he was saying "I love Hitler" to a Jewish woman. He was apparently drunk in that video, and the video happened in a cafe in Paris, I think. And yeah, he faced in public backlash because of these anti-Semitic things and these anti-Semitic insults, and he had to be dropped out of the house, and he had to also pay a fine. So, and I think also apologize. But he said, I think, I don't know, I don't know all of the facts, but he said that they kind of did him wrong, and he did some sort of suing to some people, I don't know, and he's also doing a documentary about this. I do not know. Okay, I'm so sorry, I do not know. But anyways, in 2014, he went to the house Maison Margiela until now, and he, like, the last collection of Maison Margiela Artisanal was just out of this world, and it's his work again, you know, he's as skilled as ever. But my own opinion about this is, I think, you know, as adults, people sometimes make mistakes, and I am not a fan of cancel culture at all, because I think it is very counterproductive. I think it's very dumb. I think it just doesn't work, because sometimes if somebody did something wrong, they have to pay for it, you know, and go to court for it, and then just face criminal charges, right? That's how it should go. No, us dragging them on Twitter, because that is really dumb. You only drag them on Twitter, but in real life they are still doing their own thing, right? So John Galliano did insult that woman, and he got fined for it. He paid the price. That's it. It's okay, and we should move on. That's how I view it. If somebody does an offensive thing, they pay for it. whether it's a fine, whether they go to jail, they pay for it. But we don't just cancel them. We don't lose, you know, all of, you know, we don't make them lose jobs. We don't just ban them from working. That's not how, it's because working is a human right. Producing is a human right. Having some sort of money is a human right. Because you can't just, like, you know, stop somebody from working at your company just because he went to jail for stealing once. He paid, that's it. The government caught him stealing, that's it, he paid. He repented, and the government saw that it was suiting that he should, you know, do, he should get out of prison, right? So same thing, John Galliano paid his fine, and that's it, you know. So I'm somebody that is still appreciating John Galliano, and I'm not one of those people that cancel John Galliano. What he did was definitely anti-Semitic and definitely offensive, but he paid for it. Next, so that is the hidden theme for this year's Met Gala. So right now, let's talk about the people that went to the gala and just kind of decode their outfits for you. First of all, and we're gonna start with the Garden of Time, and then the Sleeping Beauties, and then honoring John Galliano. And these are the people that I think that dressed well according to the theme, and that kind of worked well with the theme. First of all, this might be just like a little bit controversial because a lot of people were like, what the fuck J-Lo is wearing? No, you guys don't get it. You guys don't get it. I do get it. So J-Lo is the co-chair, and she pulled up to the Met Gala in this beautiful Schiaparelli gown by Danielle Roseberry, and it is custom as far as I know, and it definitely looks like a crystalline flower that is kind of like exploding. If you look at it, it looks like that, and I think they played with that. That is not just a gown from Danielle Roseberry's, you know, Schiaparelli. No, it's beautiful. It's like some sort of flower that's exploding, and I think I don't know if they did that intentionally or not, but I think she looks like the, you know, time flowers that were kind of, you know, withering away as they were plucked, and they were kind of, you know, exploding. Do you guys see it, or am I tripping? So I think she's best. She's well dressed. You know, I think J-Lo did amazing for this year's Met Gala, in my own opinion. Next, we have Gigi Hadid in custom tone brown. She basically had a dress and then some sort of train that kind of was added or some shit, because I saw her remove that train and just stay with the dress. But this thing took 13,500 hours to be finished, and 2.8 million beads for it to just be made. All of those flowers that you see, the like yellow flowers and all, 2.8 million beads, what? And 13,500 hours to make. That is really impressive, and I think this is the gown that took the most time for this year's Met Gala, and it really looks beautiful. And yeah, those flowers were meant to mimic the crystalline flowers in Gigi Hadid's favorite color, which is the yellow color. So, and she looks amazing. I think this is a really beautiful Thom brown look, and she looks on theme, if you ask me. Because why? Because it took 13,500 hours, 2.8 million beads. So it's all about playing with the time and, you know, honoring craftsmanship and honoring, because it takes a village to dress these people and to make these looks, right? And it's very on theme. If you ask me, if you go back to the last video, you're gonna be hearing about my opinion about how we should honor, you know, our garment making techniques, and how in this day and age we can make a gown that has 2.8 million beads in it that takes 13,500 hours. How many months are those? Like, if you convert them, that is really impressive. So next we have Chloe Sevigny in Dilara Findikoglu. I pronounced it right. I speak Turkish. Dilara Findikoglu. And she was wearing, this was the only Dilara Findikoglu look, and she was wearing this Victorian morning hair, and the hair was also kind of sewed in the garment, and her gown looks like it's kind of like decomposing, tearing apart. On this dress we see sewed hair, and it's really poetic and it's beautiful, and it's like preserving somebody's death, which is like preserving somebody that went extinct, that vanished from the physical time, but we still see them, just like as the couple at the end of the short story, which inspired this year's Met Gala, and they kind of like were preserved. They are stone statues for the people to look like, you know, they kind of, yeah, they went dead, but they're preserved, they're still statues. We will see them still. We will know them still. So this Victorian mourning tradition, I think it was, you know, they kind of thought them preserving the hair of their loved ones into jewelry or ornaments is really beautiful also, and it's like them stretching the time of their loved ones that left the earth, right? So this is really a successful look, and it looks very on theme with the Garden of Time and the Sleeping Beauties, and looks amazing in my opinion. Next we have Cynthia Erivo in Thom Browne. This coat, this dress, this two-piece, this tuxedo, I don't know what it is. I think it's a skirt and some sort of like top suit thingy, I don't know. It basically features everything that a garden has, and in Cynthia Erivo's words, she basically said something alongside, this is what I would look like if I have ran through a garden and things have fallen on me. So if you look closely, you're gonna see ladybugs, you're gonna see grasshoppers, you're gonna see what is it, like petals, rose petals, dragonflies, things of that nature that exist in nature. Yeah. So if you just run through a garden, and things are gonna fall on you, and I think this is very on theme because she played with the garden literally, and we need to see that. We have to see that. Next we have Mindy Kaling in Gaurav Gupta, and the name of the dress is The Melting Flower of Time. So the melting flower of time, it is literally the theme. So she kind of picked the dress that had that name, and to me, when I saw it, it looks like some sort of sculpture that is like a little bit melting, and yeah, it is a flower that's melting, I get it, but it looks like sculpture. You know those like sculptures that are marble that look like wet people, and they have like these fabrics on them, and sheer fabric, and you see them melt. That like technique, that genius of doing sculptures. I don't know how people did it. I don't even know if we could ever recreate that. I think it looks like that in a way. It's like, you know, sheer melting stone statue, marble statue, whatever. So I think it's beyond on theme. Next we have Doja Cat. Doja Cat's look was a little bit controversial. She wore this t-shirt dress from Vetements. At first I was like, what the fuck is she doing? Because this is not the time and place for her to pull on a show, because I thought that way when I saw it, because for, you know, the days before the Met Gala, she was kind of like, you know, wearing some sort of nothing. She was wearing nothing, okay? And I was like, maybe she's trying to do a show, what, you know? But then after I listened and I heard her explanation of why she wore this and what it means, I was like, what? This is actually so good. This is actually genius. So she basically wore this all cotton t-shirt dress. So because the cotton is one of the most used, you know, like flower in a way. Yeah, I posted the video and people were like, this is not a flower. Like cotton is not a flower. I googled it. Yeah, you're kind of right, but still, it's a little bit. It blooms. The plant blooms. The cotton like ball, right? And I don't know, okay, I'm not like some sort of somebody that knows about cotton. I've never actually seen cotton in real life, right? I think, but yeah, it is a plant or whatever it is that is the most used in our clothes production in the modern world. So we make a lot of our clothes with it. As I told you in the last video, I was like, we kind of could honor the modern clothes of us and things of that nature. So I think she's on theme for that. And also it's a t-shirt dress, because a t-shirt is a very classic piece of the modern wardrobe of the 21st century and the 20th century wardrobe. It is something from our time. So in the future, like thousands of years from now, people are gonna look back, look, during the 2010s, during the early 2000s, during the 2020s, people wore t-shirts, and it was like some sort of, you know, hoop skirt back in God knows what era. It was some sort of, you know, whatever, you know what I mean? We're wearing t-shirt, and this is our signature attire for this age. So people in the future are gonna look back and see that we loved the t-shirts, and they're gonna put it in a museum of some sort, you know? So I think that's that. And also, when I posted the video again, somebody said that Doja said that she, you know, wanted to kind of like talk about slavery and, you know, cotton and whatever. I did not find that interview. I tried to search for it, and if she did it, I don't know in what sense and in what way she could have done it, you know, her talking about slavery and all. But if she did that, it would also be more interesting. So, but I don't know how and when she said that. Okay, like I tried to find the interview, girl. I told you to link it, you don't link it. Anyways, next we have Taylor Russell in Loewe. So this corset that you see, it looks like wood. It's not wood, and it looks like some sort of like wood marquetry pattern. And the Loewe team, they use some sort of technique. This is too advanced. Loewe is known for things that look like something, but they're not that. So it's really crazy. Loewe are just too advanced and too futuristic sometimes for this industry, and I feel that is making a lot of designers copy them these days, because I'm seeing some of you guys. And Jonathan Anderson is a fucking genius, period. But anyways, the corset, it looks like wood, but it's not. They kind of did some 3D printing for it to just mold into her body, and then they did some sort of layers of God knows what for it to look like wood when it's not wood. It's really crazy. And I think this is honoring you know, the modern techniques that we have right now, and just like us kind of visualizing what we would start wearing in the future. Maybe in the future we would start 3D printing our clothes, because 3D printing is on the rise, right? So this is kind of like, you know, playing with the time thing, imagining how time would look like and how our clothes look like if we advance time forward. If we forward our time a little. And yeah, we can't just only look back and honor the past eras. We should also kind of think of the future and what we would start wearing. And I think she's wearing that, and she looks also the skirt, that draping skirt, it's just the draped skirt, it kind of looks like some sort of sculpture, some sort of thing like that. So I beyond on theme, dude. It's Loewe, like I'm not even gonna talk. Next we have Tyla. Tyla is it's her Met Gala debut. Most people, when they do a debut, they usually just like be conservative. They don't want to, like, you know, have a lot of attention. They're like, oh, let me not wear something, let me not play with the theme. They usually would wear something boring because it's their first time doing the Met Gala. But Tyla was like, no, I'm the it girl. I am the it girl. I am a Grammy winner. Like, F you all. And she was invited by Balmain. And dude, this dress that we're seeing, it was molded into her body, and it's like some sort of silk dress, I think I heard. And then they had to have layers of sand mixed together, like a lot of sand types that were mixed together and then kind of glued onto this thing. And I think Tyla is somebody to keep an eye on. She's definitely the next like big thing. And as somebody from Africa, sister, you're doing amazing. I love it. I love that we are being successful more and more. But later on, when after she went up the stairs or some shit, Olivier Rostand, the creative director of Balmain, basically he cut the dress, like the bottom part, and made it into this short mini dress. And yeah, basically this garment is like too fragile to be worn ever again, and it's playing with the theme of also the time. And the Sleeping Beauties exhibition is just a crossover of these two things. She also looks like some sort of statue. And yeah, elements of nature. Sand is a big element of nature. And wow. Wow. Anyways, I'm so in love, dude. I'm so in love. Next we have Nicki Minaj in Custom Marni, or Marni. And this look is so beautiful, by the way. It looks like something that Nicki Minaj would wear. You know, that bubbly personality of Nicki Minaj, the colors, the fun that she gets with her clothing. I love it so much. The pumps that are yellow, the bag that's yellow is really beautiful. And this look, in the exhibition, there are some dresses that look like this, that have like some sort of 3D flowers or 3D things out of them. And so she's beyond on theme with the exhibition. And also, why is she on theme with the Garden of Time story? Because these hand painted recycled aluminium flowers, they are so sustainable because they are recycled aluminium, flowers, and it's just, as I told you in the last video, the story of the Garden of Time made me think of us using and just like overusing our natural assets and our natural resources just to stretch some time, just to let the mob retrieve a little back, although we knew that our garden was dying. So that's what we do. We keep on producing clothes in a big, like in the mass. We keep on just abusing our natural resources and overusing them. So I said that people, and I predicted this, I said people could play a little bit with, you know, the climate crisis, sorry, and they could just wear things that are a little bit recycled. Next we have Amanda Gorman in Prada. When I saw this, I went to Twitter and I was like, oh my god, because I do not know what brocade looks like, you know, and I've never seen it before, but this looks like brocade, right? Countess dress in the short story of J.J. Pollard, she was described like, you know, as she was wearing basically a brocade dress, an evening dress. So if Prada played on that part and tried to, you know, mimic the attire of the Countess in the story, that would be very on theme. Next we have Janelle Monáe in Custom Vera Wang. This look that you guys are seeing is plastic. This is recycled plastic bottles. It does not look like it. This looks like very high-end, very ultra luxury. What? Recycled plastic bottles. So this is definitely beyond on theme, because as I told you, my general takeaway with this story, The Garden of Time, is that we should pay attention to our natural resources and to the climate crisis and not avoid looking at the big elephant in the room, just like the couple did, because the couple just relied on, you know, making their garden go extinct just because they did not want to leave the villa and that life. They wanted to stretch the time, the serene moments, the comfort. They could have just ran for their life and ignored the mob, but no, they wanted to be in their villa until the last moment and hold hands and pluck the last flower in this romantic, poetic way. No, I would run for my life. So we can't just pluck all of our garden and that's it, die, and let the garden die too. No, we have to be balanced with our natural resources. So I was like, climate change could be something that we might talk about with our fashion in this year's Met Gala, and I think Janelle Monáe with Vera Wang did that with this recycled plastic bottle look, because it does not look like it. It's really beautiful and it's really amazing, and in the future you might start wearing recycled plastic bottles too, because look how beautiful it is. I'm gonna wear it, I don't care. So that might be something that we wear in the future. So it's like playing with the time factor, us imagining what we would wear in the future in a way. Next we have Barry Keoghan, I don't know how is it pronounced, his last name, in Burberry. He looks like a count. If you just Google count right now on Google, similar silhouettes are gonna pop up. So I think that's what he was trying to wear with the Burberry. That's what they were trying to recreate, and he looks like a count. So basically he is very on theme. And also the count's description in the count's attire description in the story, he was wearing this velvet jacket. So this is velvet, so I think they are following Count Axel's description and what he was wearing. So this is beyond on theme, if you ask me. Okay. Next we have Rachel Sennott in Balenciaga. She was styled by Jared Elner, the same stylist of Emma Chamberlain. He's doing amazing, dude. He's doing so amazing. And her gown was made entirely of repurposed vintage couture dresses from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. So this is not only recycling and climate change, just like respecting our resources and just, you know, doing things like that. It's repurposed from couture dresses, vintage ones from the 30s, the 40s, and 50s from the house Balenciaga of from the time of Cristobal Balenciaga, right? And this is also very on theme with Sleeping Beauties, because these garments, you know, these couture dresses that were just like laying, sleeping in the Balenciaga archive, or I don't know how it works, they repurposed them and made this beautiful dress. and they gave it another life and they reawakened it. Next we have Camila Cabello in Ludovic de Saint-Sernin, and her gown was kind of tearing apart at the bottom. It was kind of like melting in a way, and it was kind of like decaying, so that is also very on theme if you ask me. And she wore this, it was viral on the internet, this ice bag. It was made by Jane Wade and by Joe's Garage. This look was also styled by Jared Elner. You are a genius. The ice is real, so basically when she was taking pictures at the carpet, the ice was melting from her clutch. Joe's Garage, the one I think that did the flower, the metallic flower, the metal flower, sorry, he said it looks like something so permanent surrounded by something so temporarily. So the flower, since it's metal, it's very permanent, and surrounded by something so temporarily, so fragile, so vanishing as we speak, because it's melting, it's ice. And I think that is poetic. I think that is beautiful. I think it's very on theme if you ask me. Next we have, you guys also grilled me on the short that I uploaded. Some people were like, learn how to pronounce Indian names. I'm sorry, I struggle, dude, like I'm so sorry, but her name is Alia Bhatt in Sabyasachi Mukherjee. Please, if it's true, okay? And this sari took a team of 163 people, and it took around 1955 hours to create this sari. Blessed my, I've never seen a sari as beautiful as this. And also Sabyasachi Mukherjee, I actually know his work because I saw a lot of viral videos before of people just going into his shop, atelier, or whatever, and just filming there. And I'm like, what? Wow, this is so beautiful. So the designer himself is really amazing, and he's very famous back in India, and also he's very respected worldwide. But this sari, dude, this sari is literally the most beautiful sari I've ever seen in my entire life. It looks very beautiful. The flower did, oh my god. But besides it looking beautiful and the flower, blah, 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 also this is very on theme, because back in the video that I did describing and like my general, telling you guys what I understood from the story, basically I said we should be honoring our garment making techniques, traditional garment making techniques. Sari is a very traditional thing that's in India, right? And I'm pretty sure the team of 163 people, and that all of that time it took for it to be handmade, right? I'm pretty sure the younger generation are not part of that team. I'm pretty sure these are like older people that are part of this team that are preserving the Indian traditional sari making techniques. And I think we should be honoring, we should be making sari look, you know, a little bit, and sari making look a little bit more trendy, so that maybe like younger Indians would not only try to work in tech or work in IT and forget about making things handmade, right? Because if these traditions die and people that know how to do these things handmade, they kind of like go away and, you know, pass away, right? Then the younger generation that are only focused about the modern jobs, who's gonna like, you know, sustain these? Who's gonna stretch the time of these handmade sari making, traditional like making techniques, right? So this is something that I said in the last video. So yeah, it's really important to honor our traditions and our garment making techniques, things that are handmade. So Alia Bhatt wearing that might make younger people in most countries just like try to learn how to do sari by hand, just as the 163 people, because I'm pretty sure, I am from the East, I kind of like know some things, right? Younger people are not as interested as our parents about traditions and making things by hand, because we are like, why bother? There are sewing machines, there is factories for these things. No, traditional things, handmade things are always better. So she looks amazing, and yeah, her look took a team of 163 people. That is very on theme if you ask me. Next we have Charlie XCX in Marni, and all of the Marni table was wearing recycled looks, which is very on theme. And she's wearing this patchwork t-shirt dress, and it's very on theme because of the new sustainability, climate change. This is all from repurposing t-shirts, and it was supposed to look this punk, and it looks very beautiful. on Charlie and very on theme, if you ask me, because it is all about climate change. Okay, next we have Donatella Versace in Versace. I did not find any article talking about her dress and the inspiration behind it, but to me it looks like some sort of seagrass, some sort of fish mermaid skin. I think she's kind of, you know, on, like, you know, referencing the element of water in this dress. You know, most people would not focus a lot about, you know, on designers, on the invited designers look, but this caught my eye, and I think the color of it is so beautiful, and I think it looks like things that we find in the water. So I think it's very on theme, if you ask me. Next we have Divine Joy Randolph in Gap by Zac Posen, and this was inspired by 1700s evening wear, except rendered totally in denim. And basically the silhouette of this gown, it's very, like, you know, 1700s, and just, like, you know, referencing that era and recreating it and making it alive and reawakening it, but all made through denim and with, you know, in denim. Because if you don't know, or you do know, but sometimes you forget about this, denim is basically a 21st century and 20th century modern invention and modern thing that we use a lot. So us being inspired from a very, like, you know, past thing, from a very, like, old thing, 1700s evening dress silhouette, and making it all with a modern textile, which is the denim in this case. It's very on theme, if you ask me, because as I told you in the last video, we could play, you know, with the time and reimagine different eras with different things and reawaken them and bring them back to life, and kind of, like, you know, imagine how they would look like in this day and age. And this is all of that, and I think this is a really successful look by Zac Posen for Gap. Next we have Jennie Kim and Alaya, and this dress took 200 hours to make, and it is all made from the same fabric, which is from the same fabric, which is a 13 meters fabric. So no cuts, no nothing. It was kind of like wrapped around her or whatever. This is on theme. I don't care. You don't think this is on theme, or what does it mean in the context of the Garden of Time? This is on theme, if you ask me, because she's wearing Alaya. I'm Tunisian. I'm a sucker for the house of Alaya. Alaya is a national treasure, guys. So anything Alaya that I see, she's on theme. I don't care. Number two, she's wearing electric blue. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I see the color blue, I go feral. I love the color blue so much, especially electric blue. Next we have Olivier Rostand. Usually, as I told you, usually people won't look at what designers are wearing in these events, because usually designers don't put too much thought or too much, you know, effort, because they're designing for people and it's like them showing up as part of their job in a way. But Olivier Rostand was wearing this, but no, of course, statue of himself. And as I told you in the last video, as a prediction of what I would wear if I was invited, you would try and, like, play with the icon statue of you, and Olivier Rostand is an icon in the fashion world. He's a genius of a designer. So him kind of preserving himself in this, like, sand statue thing and wearing it, and it's like, oh my god, look, it's me. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure if we still do sculptures like in the past, a lot of people are gonna sculpt his image, because he's a genius. He's somebody that is gonna go down in history books, right? So it's really all of that, guys, and I think that's what he intended to do. You know, him wearing himself as some sort of sculpture. I think that's what he intended to do. I did not read this anywhere. This is just me pulling shit out of my head, right? Next we have Wisdom K and Robert One in Haute Couture Spring Summer 2024, a show which he walked in, and he did not open it. He was the second look of this show. I love Robert One. I'm a sucker for Robert One. Robert One is somebody that I've loved for years. Like, it's really crazy. And basically Robert One, whenever I would look at his work, I see nature, I see the inspiration and all of it coming from nature. And I respect designers that get inspired by nature and elements of it, right? So a lot of his work is inspired by feathers, by birds, by some sort of flowers in a way, and I love that so much, so much about Robert One. So him just, you know, dressing somebody is already on theme. Next we have Rita Ora and Marni. Again, as I told you, everybody that was invited by Marni wore things that were recycled. The beads that she's wearing right now literally date back to 1st century BC. This is the reawakening beauty. This is Sleeping Beauties that are reawakened. This is something that is really amazing if you ask me. And wow, 1st century BC, how the fuck did they find that? What the fuck, is that even real? I don't know. That should be, maybe that should be a crime to wear things, something that is that old, but I don't know. And also I think the inspiration behind her look was to look like some sort of really like 1st century BC look back in the days where they would just like put a leaf on top of their private parts. I think it's supposed to look like that. I think, I'm not sure though. If it's not supposed to look like that, then I'm sorry, I don't find it that pretty anyway. But beads that date back to the 1st century BC, what? And yeah, I think she is supposed to look like a cave woman, or I don't even know what happened 1st century BC. I was not there. But these beads, what? How did they find? I don't know. This is impressive. This is impressive if you ask me. Next we have Lauren Sanchez and Oscar de la Renta. And when I saw it, I think not a lot of people are talking about it, but I'm gonna talk about it because it looks like some sort of shattered glass. It's flower that's shattered. It's glass that's shattered. It's basically just like the time flowers being, you know, withering as they got plucked, and shattered glass, shattered things are destruction. And the mob, when they entered the villa, they shattered a lot of things. So she's beyond all theme. And Oscar de la Renta is always neat, always good looking things. Like Oscar de la Renta, what? How do you guys manage to always do things that look good? Like you don't miss, I swear, you don't miss. Next we have Eva Chan in Robert One. Again, as I told you, I'm a sucker for Robert One, so I'm gonna include this look. And when you look at it, and even her eyelashes that she decided to wear to the Met, it looks like snow. It looks like frozen in time, right? To me, it looks like snow. So on theme, Robert One on theme. Robert on theme, I don't care. So Ambika Mod in Loewe, this 3D digital print of another dress. That is it does not look like a print. It looks like a part of, I don't know how they did it. Loewe, you guys are just too progressive at this point. Like I can't keep up. But anyways, they did this 3D digital print of another dress. And it is supposed to look like the 1951 petal ball gown by the influential mid-century designer Charles James. And I think his work is gonna be displayed in the Met Gala, some of his work, so but I'm not sure though. And this dress, this gown, which Charles designed, had a petal-shaped waist detail and a flower-like petticoat. And the way it faced towards the bottom, her dress, the way it faced towards the bottom, it's like supposed to reference like the dying garden, because it's like as if the center part, it's like ink and it's like a little bit fading. Poetic, beautiful, on theme. This is really beautiful. I wish she did her hair up a little and just kind of like did more with the beauty. I don't know, because I feel like the dress is just like so pretty for it to just, you know, for her to just wear her hair down and that's it, you know. I wish she did like some sort of movement or something like that, because the dress is delicate movement, not just straight hair, right? Next we have Dan Levi in Loewe, and this look is inspired from the last runway collection, I think, from Loewe women's wear, but the way the flowers fade into the darkness, that is very on theme, because as I told you, the garden of time flowers, whenever you would pluck a flower, it would wither, it would fade, it would just go, right? And yeah, this looks like it. Next we have a person that I want to thank you so much for talking about this, for wearing this. Thank you so much. And this person is Morgan Spector. He's wearing a red poppy like suit, you know, a suit that has a poppy detailing on it in Willy Chavaria. And this is something that I read when I was doing my own research. Basically, the poppy, he wore it because he was trying to, you know, honor the national flower of Palestine. And we all know that Palestine is in crisis right now, is in a crisis, and the things that are happening in Gaza are really, really horrible. And him just not ignoring the big elephant of the room, the cycle of destruction that is happening, is really, really, really on theme, if you fucking ask me. And yeah, poppy is a national flower of Palestine. Is amongst one of the national flowers of Palestine. And when he was asked about it by WWD, he said, "I was actually asked by Andrew Bolton to record John McCrae's World War I poem in Flanders Fields for the Sleeping Beauties exhibit at the Met Gala. It's a very moving poem, more or less written in a trench in 1915, whatever, when McCrae was serving in the war. Poppies are a recurring motif, and I believe that poem is part of the reason poppies are used as a symbol of remembrance in the UK and throughout the Commonwealth. The piece is written from the point of view of the dead, exhorting the living to carry on the fight. It made me think of the war in Gaza and the responsibility we have to the dead on both sides to try and do what we can to bring about a just peace." Yeah, the poppy, as it happens, is also a symbol of Palestine. So I asked Willie, who often adorns his clothes with beautiful flowers, to add poppies to my jacket. Yeah, that's it. Because I have a lot of notes on this. So thank you so much, Morgan Spector, for this. That is one too. As I told you in the last video, and as I predicted in the last video, and as I said in the last video, as I told you that flowers are a symbol of resistance, of resilience. They were used in multiple historical instances, you know, to fight, to just like, you know, honor the dead, to put on clothes, to give to the army that was opposing the protesters. I've seen that happen multiple times, and apparently it also happened. It is also a thing that that people in the UK use as a symbol of remembrance, right? So this is that. And him thinking of Gaza and the poppy being a national flower. Thank you and bless you. That is one. This is beyond on theme because, as I told you, the story is all about, you know, not ignoring the big elephant of the room. If you get deep with it, it's only about like 10 flowers and just like a mob. No, the mob. Who is the mob? What's happening? Why? You know. So that is that. Also, the exhibition, the snippets that I saw from the exhibition, it features 2 gowns that have poppies on them, or that are made from poppies. I don't know. So he's also beyond on theme with that. And thank you. You're literally one of the best dressed for the night, and thank you so much. Next, we have Sabrina Harrison in Chris Shabana. She said, "I envisioned my Met Gala purse as a time capsule with a digital screen playing iconic Met red carpet moments all night. The bodice part basically featured this like trompe-l'oeil melting clock inspired by the Persistence of Memory, the 1931 painting from Salvatore Dali. And girl, you're literally one of the best dressed for the night. Thank you for giving the clock element time clocks. Thank you for playing with that literally. And also the idea of that purse, you guys, I'm gonna show a video, but the purse literally had some sort of TV in it or whatever screen that was playing the iconic moments. So she basically preserved the iconic moments of the Met, the fashion moments, the history of the Met in this purse of hers. It's just us humans preserving historical moments via statues, via clothes, via like things of that nature. And she did that. And what? You're a genius. I never knew. I don't know who Sabrina Harrison is, but now I'm obsessed. And thank you. This is best dressed. I put you in best dressed. Next now we're gonna talk about the Sleeping Beauties part of the theme. Zendaya pulled up to the Met Gala in Givenchy Couture from the spring 1996 collection, and the flower headpiece, which was made by Philip Treacy, and it was pulled out of the archives, I think, from Philip Treacy, and it was made for the Alexander McQueen Sarabande Spring 2007 collection. So she basically and I think they bought this dress because I heard they bought this dress, I think, right? I don't know, but basically, what? Thank you so much for blessing us with the very, very old, like vintage Givenchy couture dress and that headpiece, which was from an iconic Alexander McQueen collection. So she basically is very on theme with the Sleeping Beauty's theme because she reawakened a Sleeping Beauty. Next we have Kendall Jenner in Givenchy. This dress has never been worn by anybody before, guys, and this is a McQueen for Givenchy fall 1999 look for the Givenchy Haute Couture runway, and that show was only presented on, it was a presentation, and it was not worn by any models, so they were like mannequins that were wearing these pieces, and ever since then it was sleeping in the archives of the house of Givenchy, and Kendall Jenner wore it to the Met Gala, and after she wore it, it's gonna go back directly to the Givenchy archives, and this is a Sleeping Beauty. This is indeed has never been worn by any human ever before, so very, very on theme. Thank you so much, Kendall, for blessing us with something that we never saw ever on a human. Next, we have Anna Wintour, the host for the Met Gala in Loewe. Basically, this like coat situation, this tuxedo situation, Jonathan was inspired, the creative director of Loewe, he was inspired by the tulip strewn cape in Sleeping Beauties, which was designed by Charles Frederick Worth, who is considered to be the first couturier ever. So this cape that we're talking about is actually gonna be displayed, and it's gonna be part of the exhibition, the Sleeping Beauties exhibition, and Jonathan got inspired by that cape and made this tuxedo. So Anna Wintour is very on theme for the people that are like, why Anna is always wearing boring things to the most important night in fashion. Like, what? You guys don't even know what you're talking about. Next we have Nicole Kidman in Balenciaga, and it is a recreation of a flamenco-inspired 1950s by Cristobal Balenciaga gown, and she basically recreated a Sleeping Beauty on theme, as I told you, on theme. Next we have Emma Chamberlain in Jean Paul Gaultier, and it is a recreation of a spring 2003 couture look. Yeah, very on theme. Basically, the 2003 couture show happened 3,000 years ago, so it was a Sleeping Beauty, and she recreated it, and I am in love, and it's very on theme. Next we have Lana Del Rey and Alexander McQueen by Sean McGeer, the new creative director of the house Alexander McQueen, and she pulled up to the Met Gala wearing archival Alexander McQueen design from the house's fall 2006 collection, and this collection was a big hit at the time, but I wished, as a lot of people said, I wish the thorns that Lana was wearing were a little bit more like sturdy, a little bit more dramatic. I wish the bottom part of the dress to be a little bit more dramatic and like bigger, because I don't know, I wanted that. I really wanted more, like her to just do more, right? So that is that, but also, yeah, the house, Sean, they tried to recreate an Alexander McQueen archival piece. So it was a Sleeping Beauty reawakened and reimagined and recreated. Next we have Michelle Yeoh. When I saw this, I was like, what is this? This looks like aluminium. I was like, this is not beautiful, you know, because I did not understand. I was dumb. But after my research, this is actually very on theme. So she was wearing this, she pulled up the Met Gala in Balenciaga, and they used innovative silver aluminium overlaid material, and that was crinkled and rearranged. And this dress basically was inspired by Cristobal Balenciaga 1940s ballroom gowns. So the silhouette of it looks like a 1940s Cristobal Balenciaga ballroom gown, but it was made in a more like futuristic cloth, futuristic textile, which is this aluminium overlaid material. So I think it's the crossover of a very old piece from the house and the new Balenciaga and our new clothes, which are a little bit more fun, a little bit not classic clothing. It's a little bit we're wearing aluminium, and what about it? You get what I mean? So I think she's beyond on theme after I did my own research. Next we have Pamela Anderson in this beautiful Oscar de la Renta gown. It is her debut, surprisingly wet. And this gown is basically a recreation of Princess Margaret 21st birthday dress that was created by Christian Dior, and Christian Dior designed it back in the 50s. Next we have Rosalia in Dior dress, and this took 1800 hours to make, and is a recreation of Dior's ciseau dress from 1949. So she, again with Dior, they recreated something from the works of Christian Dior, and this is from a dress called ciseau, and a dress that was made back in 1949, so she's beyond on. Next we have the H&M crew, and a lot of people were like, what the fuck, why H&M are dressing people, and well, what is this? H&M is a fast fashion brand. H&M, you guys are a Gemini because you collaborate a lot with big fashion houses, and you do some sort of couture collections from time to time. You did one with Giambattista Valli, it was amazing, and you're doing things like that, but you also are a fast fashion. I don't get it sometimes, but I love it. You're doing it for fashion sometimes. And this the H&M crew, basically all of their dresses were inspired by H&M archives from their 1947 roots as a small boutique in Sweden. So basically H&M was founded way back in 1947, and the people that got invited by H&M, they got dressed by looks that were inspired from the H&M archives. And we love that. Hello, we love that. So the house is honoring itself, the H&M house is honoring itself, and they're just recreating Sleeping Beauties. Next we have Elle Fanning in Balmain, and it's a word play. She played the role of a sleeping beauty in Maleficent, and the organza's fabric, I think it was silk, it was hand covered with 4 layers of resin to achieve a glass effect. So it's like this trompe-l'oeil, effect, and the resulting garment conjured images of the precious crystalline flowers of the time, the time flowers from the story, blah blah blah. Next we have Amelia Gray in Undercover. This exact same dress is in white, though, is featured in the exhibition, and this Undercover dress went viral. It's a very recent collection from Undercover, and it was really viral in the fashion world, and it's in the exhibition, so Amelia Gray is definitely on theme with that. This is something that made me so proud of myself, because I was like, wow, I found it out on my own. I was like, Marni, you're that good with fashion. So when I was searching looks for this Met Gala and going through all of the looks, I saw this and I was like, this looks like something that I saw in the exhibition snippets, and it turns out I'm true. So this is a look by Isabelle Huppert in Balenciaga, and it is a recreation of 1930s Callot Sœur wedding dress. And this wedding dress by Callot Sœur, Callot or Caillot, I don't know, and it is a dress that is gonna be displayed, the original one, in the Met Gala. And basically Huppert's great-great-grandmother was one of the Callot sisters. Basically Isabelle Huppert, her great-great-grandmother, was one of these 4 sisters which started and founded the house, the haute couture house Callot Sœur, back in 1895. And she's basically, I saw a picture of her laying just sitting down the original dress that her great-great-grandmother probably designed or helped in designing, or it's from her great-grandmother's house, and she's sitting next to it. This is actually the epitome of the Garden of Time and the theme and the Sleeping Beauties. This is such an iconic moment, and wow. Next we have Mona Patel and Iris van Herpen. This Mona basically became super viral. She was known as this secret guest or something like that. I don't know, on Twitter, because her look is that good. People were like, who is she? I want to know her name. I want to stan her. And when I googled her, what? Does she have books? I'm just gonna do some sort of research, a very deep research on her. What? She went to the United States of America in the year, she just immigrated to the US in 2023, and ever since then did and launched 8 Techstars 8. What? Within a year, 2023 is last. 2023 is this year, actually. We're only like 5 months in 2024. How did she manage to do that? That's one. She's a billionaire. She's a big person in India. And what? I am so intrigued. I want to like learn more about her. If she has some sort of podcast interviews, some sort of books, I'm just gonna read all of that because wow, she does all of that. She's a genius, and she's also into fashion. And she collaborated with Loewe to style her in this Iris van Herpen beautiful dress that looks like a butterfly. So butterfly, elements of nature. You know, it's an insect, part of nature. Garden flower, you know, you see the butterflies near the flower, blah blah. That is that. Also, she wore these moving detached sleeves from Casey Curran, and they would look futuristic, and she's into tech, she's into that. So yeah, the detached sleeves look like, you know, they are moving, they are something that's futuristic, that's something that we might wear. And as I told you in the last video, I predicted, or I said I would wear if I was invited, things that kind of like imagine what we would wear in the future. And maybe in the future we're gonna have some sort of you know, digital things on us, or some sort of TVs on us, and some sort of detached sleeves that are moving with the garment. And one of the best looks ever. And she graduated from Harvard and 2 other prestigious universities. How do you, I literally have to, does she have a book? Does she have something like that? Because I'm literally I'm a big fan of Mona Patel from now on, and I want to learn more about her. I'm that intrigued. Right now, let's start with the third hidden theme, which is all about honoring John Galliano. First, we have Zendaya styled by Loewe in this Maison Margiela, designed by John Galliano. And this dress that you guys are seeing is, it's basically some sort of recreation of Dior's Spring 1999 couture collection, which was also designed by John Galliano. So basically John Galliano is referencing himself, and as I told you, there is a hidden theme of all about, you know, honoring John Galliano for this year's Met Gala, and he basically did that, and Zendaya basically did that with Loewe, and this looks so beautiful. Wow, did you see that? Did you see the makeup? Did you see everything? Did you see the posing? Did you see the drama? I'm in love. Next we have another co-chair who is Bad Bunny, and again Maison Margiela, artisanal by John Galliano. And again, John Galliano is referencing his work, and this is something inspired by the last artisanal collection. That is that. Also the exposed stitching, it is a very it's some sort of blueprint to the house Maison Margiela. That is that. But also Bad Bunny, to me he looks like a count right here. And yeah, if you Google a count image on the internet, you're gonna find similar silhouettes. Next we have Gwendoline Christie wearing custom Margiela by John Galliano again. So it's just her honoring the works of John Galliano. And some people said that she's supposed to be the wife of Bad Bunny with this look, so they are supposed to look like Count Axel and his wife. I don't know if that's true, but I don't know. But yeah, she's very on theme with the hidden theme of honoring John Galliano and his skills, and just him being a genius. Next we have Kim Kardashian honoring the genius of a designer, John Galliano, with this custom Maison Margiela look. This look, when I saw it, I was like, this is so beautiful. I love the crossover between, you know, the casual vibe of a cardigan or sweater or whatever it is, with the metallic or more like couture looking you know, dress. I thought it was a dress when I saw it in the live stream, but it is not a dress. It is a corset with this metallic flower looking skirt on top of it, and then they have this sweater on. And this is basically a look inspired by the last artisanal collection from the house, which went super viral. Next we have Natasha Punawala, and she is wearing this custom Maison Margiela look that is inspired by look number 22 from the last haute couture collection, Maison Margiela artisanal collection, which was super viral. And she's beyond all theme. She is honoring the genius of a designer, John Galliano, and she's apparently also Indian and a billionaire. What the fuck is happening in India? You guys literally carry this year's Met Gala, and why do you have that many iconic women? Like, what? I'm literally a fan. What is this? What? I'm a fan. Anyways, you guys literally carried this year's Met Gala. Like, most of my favorite looks are from Indian women. So yeah, guys, this sums up all of the looks and me breaking them down for you. And in my humble opinion, these are the best dressed in terms of the Garden of Time theme, the Sleeping Beauties theme, and also the hidden secret theme of honoring the works of John Galliano. Now let's talk about my top 10, and this is not in any exact order, this is just like my top 10. First we have Gigi Hadid. The fact that it took 13,500 hours and 2.8 million beads, to me that is just honoring our garment making techniques and things of that nature, and just producing things like that, you know. So that is that, because her gown might end up in another exhibition in the future that is talking about sleeping beauties or honoring our current modern creations. So there is that. Next is Doja Cat. As controversial as it is, I think that's she does not look like she should be in the Met Gala, but if you hear the explanation behind the look and the inspiration behind it, that is actually so poetic, as she said, and I'm so in love. Next is Tyla. It's her debut, but she still killed it, and I love it. I love the sand dress and how it's just decomposing and decaying as she walks. Next we have Camila Cabello with that purse that's melting, with the Ludovic de Saint-Sernin like dress that's like deconstructed at the bottom. Next we have Alia Bat with that sari, with that beautiful sari. I want to wear that. I want to wear that so much. I want to see that. I want to see that. That sari is literally the best thing that I've seen in a while, and the video of it on its own is so beautiful, let alone in real life. I want to see it so much, and I think she killed it. Next is Morgan Spector with him honoring the national flower of Palestine, and it is actually very on theme with the exhibition and with the Garden of Time. So he is literally the best dressed man and the best dressed amongst my top 10 for this year's Met Gala. Next is Sabrina Harrison with her, you know, with all of those clocks, with that purse that is capturing, or that has the most iconic Met Gala moments captured in it, and it's like playing that. And next is Isabelle Huppert Balenciaga look. Next is Zendaya. I love the two looks. I loved how she bought that Givenchy dress apparently, and thank you Zendaya, thank you Lo Roach. She served, and it is definitely gonna go down as a very historical, iconic moment. And finally, Kendall Jenner wearing something that has never been worn by any human before, and blessing us with something that has never been seen before for years and years and years. That is very on theme. So these are my top 10. Again, Gigi Hadid, Doja Cat, Tyla, Camila Cabello, Alia Bat, Morgan Spector, Sabrina Harrison, and Isabelle Huppert, Zendaya, and Kendall Jenner. That is that. Thank you to all of these 10 people, because you made my brain chemicals kind of like work, and passion for fashion, honey, passion for fashion. I love the Met Gala. Until see you next year, or nah. That one Cardi B thing. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye, I love you.